Well, a little bit ago I was contacted by Thrunite flashlights to do a review for them. And, you know, they asked me if I'd like to do a review of flashlights. I love flashlights. It's kind of like the same thing with knives or guns or whatever. I can never have too many of them. So they sent me this flashlight. It came in this little box here. And it's the Thrunite Ti4 Compact. And then it's got some other stuff on here. It says 2 Turbo, which is cool white. New, it says, whatever. So basically, let's see what we got here. So what they sent me is a little pen light. Okay. Okay. And here's the manual. Looks like it came with a couple of extra O-rings and of course the manual. But being a guy, we don't look at the instructions. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of twist on what part normally twists so that we can get the batteries. Now I'm pretty sure I put these batteries in there. They don't come with, it doesn't come with batteries. Seems to be, you know, standard decent duty aluminum housing. Just says Thrunite Ti4 Penlight. This is not a light that I would normally buy, and I'll tell you why. I'm not a big fan of these pen lights. Some folks use them. There's definitely an application for them, maybe at work or, you know, whatever. But for me, that's a bright little freaking light. Look at that. That's from a little, there's your strobe. My understanding is too, that I did cheat and read the manual already, but you can turn it. See, every time you do a little twist, and it takes a few of those cycles to get to the strobe. You have to do, I think, 2 complete cycles to get to the strobe. But you can, so you can either change modes by the end, or you can just do it there. Sometimes it's easier for me, I noticed on this flashlight. I've got to admit, I've already played with it a bit, and this way seems to be easier for me. See, it had to go through 1 complete, or like a couple of cycles there. But anyway, just barely twisting the end makes it work. Now, why would I not normally buy a flashlight like this? Because it's so long. I would normally, I don't carry stuff in my pocket when I go out bushcrafting, camping, whatever. I don't carry it like this. I tell you what, I'd carry it if it was about that big. It's just a little bit too big. And I'll show you the one that I do carry. It's a different brand. But see, it's fatter, but it's more compact. Now this is probably one of those ones that takes that special, yeah, it takes one of them CR125 batteries. The one good thing about, or not the one good thing, but definitely a good thing about this particular pen light is it takes AA or AAA batteries. They're way easier to find than the CR123s or 25s, whatever they are, and they're way less expensive. It seems like early on with the LED flashlights they had to have that super high power, or it just seemed like that's what they were going with, was the CR123s. They seem to have been able to get away from that nowadays and go with the AA or the AAAs, yeah, CR123, and still get some really good output out of it. I mean, this, for 2 AAA batteries, this has got a heck of an output on it. And I'd have to read to see, you know, exactly how much, what the lumens is on it. I'll read that and get it out here in just a minute. But so far it's a pretty cool little light. Like I said, to fit in my pocket, and I'm talking like my pants pocket, I would want it, you know, that big. Maybe 1 AA, maybe sacrifice some run time. It seems to be, you know, pretty well constructed. I haven't done a lot of testing with it, but I have done enough to know that it's pretty dang bright. I'm doing this test in the daytime just because I don't have infrared on my camera. It's way hard to see doing a flashlight review in the dark. I will put it in the dark. I've got a dark room upstairs. One thing I want to test out with this though is right away these are waterproof. And you know, some folks get upset when you say waterproof. It's water resistant to a certain feet. But let's impact resistance 2 meters. I'm going to guess that they're saying that you can drop it from 6 feet up in the air and it's still not going to break it. I'm not going to test that. You know, normal stuff. But what I do want to try, it's a really bright flashlight in a small package, I'll give you that. It's a thin package. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing it a little stubbier, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings even if it was fat. This does stick out a little bit, but whenever I carry a flashlight, I always carry it semi-untwisted. The cap, the contact, the other end of the contact, so that you can't turn it on accidentally. So then you tighten it, and there it goes. I'll turn it off and then just untwist it a little bit so that it doesn't accidentally hit in my pocket or something. But what I really want to test is the waterproofing of it. So I'm going to go fill up my kitchen sink with water, and we'll leave this on and see if anything happens to it. Okay, I've got the flashlight on. I'm just going to dump it in the water. Okay, so nothing's happened pretty quick, which I wouldn't expect it to. But let's see if I can cycle through while it's underwater. Wow, look at how freaking... that is a bright package, man, I will say that. Look at that strobe. I'm just going to do this a couple times to see if... You really don't have to push the back that far in. Going to see if operating it like this makes it less waterproof, or just see if anything happens. Plus, like how I was saying, you can do the very end and twist it. Just a little tiny twist. There's your firefly mode. Look at that. That's pretty dang bright, man. I mean, too bright to see up close. Firefly mode. Let's leave it on firefly mode and see what happens there. Alright, well, I've got the timer set for 20 minutes. We'll leave that flashlight in the water for 20 minutes on. If it survives that test, you know, I guess I haven't really came up with an application where I would turn a flashlight on under the water. You know, maybe I guess at night if you're looking for a rock or something. I mean, there's always a case where you might try that, I guess. But for me, if I got a flashlight and it drops in the water and I hurry up and pick it up and dry it off, if it still works, that's awesome. This light, I have a feeling, is definitely going to do that. 20 minutes in the water is way more than I would do. Having said that though, a real moist environment, prolonged exposure to a real moist environment, this test could possibly simulate long-term exposure in a real moist environment. If you live somewhere where it rains all the time or it's super humid, maybe down in the south or something like that where the contacts can definitely get corroded from just the moisture in the air, this test should simulate that. I mean, 20 minutes under water should simulate definitely a moist environment. Okay, well, I put the little flashlight through its paces, so to speak. I mean, it's definitely waterproof. I kept it in the sink for 20 minutes. You saw the timer go off, and it's fine. Let me open it up and take a look at the batteries, see if they're dry. Dry off my hand a little bit. Bone dry. That's bone dry. Now I'm going to take a look at the lens right inside where the glass part is, right where the LED is, and see if there's any fogging or anything on there. I don't see anything at all. I mean, it's all a complete housing in there, all sealed, so it shouldn't. But anyway, so I just looked up this price of this on Amazon, and it was like 25 bucks. Now, is this worth 25 bucks? To me, it is. It does everything it says it does, and it's a heck of a frickin' bright package. These LED lights, man, I tell you what, these are awesome. But to get this brightness, to get the brightness that this produces in this small of a package is pretty cool. Now, is this the shape? Would I run out and buy something like this for bushcrafting or for, you know, even whatever? Probably not. I want a little bit smaller flashlight, or if I want something this size, I want it fatter, and I want to be able to put bigger batteries in it, and then maybe have like a sheath for it that I can put on my belt. So, you know, it would definitely be good for, I know I do construction, and a lot of the folks there that I work in, they're maintenance folks. And they use these a lot. This is by far brighter than anything I've ever seen any of those guys carry. So for 25 bucks, heck yeah, those guys would love something like this. Right now I'm going to set it aside and probably put it in a pile of stuff for a giveaway maybe or something. This is a heck of a flashlight. It should be used. It shouldn't just sit in my drawer and not be used. So there you go. The Thrunite Ti4 Penlight. It's a pretty cool flashlight. Alright guys, take care.